Does your aim make you look like a bot? Do you feel completely outmatched by your opponents? Like they're not even playing the same game as you? Well, today I'm going to help you a little bit with that. I'm going to show you the best Rainbow Six Siege settings for console. So to get started first, I don't really have anything changed on my actual Xbox settings. I'll show you them real quick in case you care. That's the display settings. Volume is pretty much standard. I just have it on stereo because my recording software requires that. And then some people do color filters. I don't actually like the way they look, but I think the typical one that people do is this blue yellow color filter to try and make the game like make people pop out more. You can try it. Maybe it's just my monitor. I hate the way it looks, but you can try it if you want. But now moving on to the actual in-game settings. We're going to go through every single one of these categories. So if you are just here for control settings, skip ahead a few minutes in the video. These first few won't take long, but that'll be it. First off, I like to have minimal metrics on just so I know if I'm like dropping frames or if something's going wrong with my ping. And then it'll also tell you, you can't see it on the bottom right of the screen. If there's like an internet problem, it'll say like packet lost or, some sort of server issue, just so you know if something's going wrong. That's connectivity feedback. Cycle inside cam groups. This one's nice because it'll have like your Valk cams, your echo cams, and your default cams separate so you know which category you're looking at. Diffuser pickup, have this on both because that allows you to just run over the diffuser to pick it up or to press X and pick it up from a distance. Drone after prep on manual. Manual just stops you from automatically getting off your drone after the prep phase ends, so that way if you're being chased, if your drone's being chased or something, you won't just get off and your drone will just stop dead for the attackers. Match replay, that's just being able to watch back your matches. Sometimes I'll go in there and see what I did wrong. Crossplay, more players to play with. HUD, I have mine pretty much standard. Just a couple things I have different. The compass is simplified just to take up less room. It still shows what room you're in and stuff. And then you can look at all these if you're interested, but these are all just basic. Health I have on number only, just because I find not seeing, like if I'm low health, not seeing the bar all the way down, it just gives me a little bit more confidence. I'm not as worried about dying in a gunfight. Action reminders, I have that on icon only. If you're brand new to the game, you may want to leave this on default. All that does is when you go to like defuse or rip down a barricade, instead of saying press X to do this, it'll just show the little icon of a guy doing that action. These are just opacity. I think this is all default pretty much. General reminders I turned off. That's just like it'll tell you how to do something while you're playing. I don't need that. I think everything else is pretty much standard. I turn off gamer tag just so there's less on the screen when your teammates are running around. It still shows I still have outlines on so I don't team kill as much. And I think that's it. And gameplay warnings off. It just tells you like if you're trying to jump through a window that's barricaded, the game will warn you, but just not being able to do the action is much easier. Audio. I don't really have too much changed on audio. Digital output because it has more bits, so it's a higher sound quality. I have subtitles off. Some people play with them on because the AI will actually give callouts, but I don't find it that useful. Master volume 100, no music needed. Dialogue volume a little bit lower. That's when the characters are calling stuff out. Dynamic range, this one's important. Having it on night mode as opposed to hi-fi. Night mode will allow you to hear footsteps much more clearly. It kind of compresses all of the loud sounds, so like explosions, gunshots, reinforcing walls and stuff. That becomes quieter, but as a result, stuff like footsteps, hearing people get on cams or activate abilities, like Jackal's Inox Tracker, for example, you can hear when he touches his helmet to activate it. That all becomes louder, and it allows you to hear those quieter sounds much more clearly. So night mode, highly recommend. And then voice chat is just for the people in game. If you're ever in game chat, I just turned it down a little bit. Display, make sure VSync is off. Having VSync on really messes up Rainbow. I don't know why. It'll make feeling feel very weird. Always prioritize performance. If you're on PC, you'll obviously have much more options when it comes to your graphics, but on console, prioritize performance. Field of view 84. I think 90 is just a little too stretched out, so I just turned down a little bit. HUD area, all these 100. Brightness 65. This is going to depend on your display. I would just do whatever looks right on your monitor. Typically, Rainbow is kind of a dark game, so you're going to want to turn it up a little bit. But some of my friends on Xbox have theirs as low as 50. Some of them have it as high as 85. So it's just going to depend on how bright your actual display is. Now, moving on to controls. I hate controller vibration. I always have it off. I know some people can't play without it, but that's just not me. I don't like having it on. Gadget deployment advanced. This allows you to throw drones, put down equipment, fuse charges, whatever, without activating it right away. Same thing with drone deployment. Practice settings. Oh, I didn't even realize I was on. It used to be called aim assist. I guess it automatically turned on when they changed it to be practice settings. Disable that. It's just going to make your aim more realistic when you get into terrorist hunt. If you have it enabled, it'll be easier, but you won't have a accurate simulation for being in the real game. Controller layout, I just use default. My controller does have back paddles, but I just use those for crouch. So if you're interested, I think it's called a G6. It's a GameSir controller. It allows you to have 2 paddles on the back, and I just use them both for crouch, so I don't have to move my thumb off the analog stick when I'm crouching. Look conversion disabled. Classic okay, so the difference between classic and updated. Classic is much, much faster, so that's why I use it. I feel it's more precise as well because there's no ramp up. On updated, it slowly gets faster, but classic, it's full speed right away. So before we get to sensitivity, I actually have a video on how to find your perfect sensitivity right here at the top right. And it's going to vary from person to person, but I do feel like my sensitivity is pretty good. So if you're interested, this is it. But if you don't like mine, there are tons and tons of videos on different people's sensitivity. Royal Penguin is a great channel for that. He does a lot of like pro players and really popular streamers test their sensitivities out. But this is mine. Vertical 27, horizontal 70, no dead zone. Only turn dead zone on if you have stick drift. Just turn it up enough to where your stick drift disappears. But being as I have no stick drift at the moment, there's no point in having a dead zone. ADS sensitivity, I do advanced, and then I typically start at 19, which is about where I like it, and then I just turn it up a few notches for each increase in the sensitivity level. So it goes 19, 23, 25, 27, 29, and then, I mean, really anything past 2.5 I don't use, so it doesn't matter that much, but yeah. Aim on hold, obviously, on the controller. Show more of these. Advanced controller options, I only use these for my look acceleration. I don't use it for ADS acceleration because I think it makes it feel less precise. But horizontal, look acceleration 25, vertical 20, look acceleration delay 0.15, look acceleration ramp up 0.35, and then everything else is 0 except my outer threshold is 5, which is, I don't think it affects it that much, but that's what it is. So those are my sensitivity settings, so you're interested. And then accessibility, I just have a couple things changed here. My optic color is red. You can do whatever color you like. I put the opacity down to 75, just so if someone's like behind your red dot, you can still kind of see them moving. Make sure screen shake sensitivity is set to off. This affects things like if thermite breaches a wall, everyone's screen will shake. This turns that off so that you can continue to fight even while explosions and flashes and stuff are going on. Team colors, blue and red. And I don't think I have any of this changed at all. And yeah, those are my settings for console. If you have any questions about any of the settings or why you prefer a different one, let me know in the comments and we can talk about it. But that's it. Very easy to follow. Change those settings to match mine and you should see a little bit of an improvement in your gameplay. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.